Hi, it has been a while, but I'm back. Slowly trying to get back into reading. I stopped reading for about a month. I didn't read a single book. I didn't finish a single book. I go through phases, and I think I've mentioned this in this channel, but I go through phases where I read 10 books at a time and then I stop reading for about a month or two, and that's like a seasonal reading slump to me. As soon as I find another good book to read, it starts there and then I read another 10 books. That's just always how it is. I'm gonna pick up exactly where I left off from the last video that I did where I talked about books, because the last few videos I did were vlogs when I went into the province. Let's go back to books. I want to just give you an update about like the books that I mentioned in that last video. I talked about the books that I was planning to read for November. I was in this crazy month-long reading slump and I didn't read the books that I was planning to read for Halloween. I decided to just put it off till next year and wait for the next Halloween. I might read them in advance, but ideally I'll probably read them by November next year. And those books are as follows: Dracula by Bram Stoker, The Iron Trial from the Magisterium series by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare. So bye-bye. Although I did read one book, Autumnal Halloween Vibe, it's this one, The Wicked Deep by Shea Ernshaw. I finished this book because it's not that thick and also the spacing and the font isn't as intimidating. This is YA. I only rated this 3 stars. I wasn't hooked. I didn't love it as much as I expected, but it did give me that vibe that I was looking for Halloween. It's okay. It's not that complicated, but it wasn't as surprising either. It's fine. It's not bad. It's not good. It's okay. So hence the 3 stars. Now, I remember from the last video, I was currently reading Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, and I did finish that book, this one. I rated this 4 stars. I love how this was written. It's like poetry to my ears. Yeah, it kind of went downhill from the time that the male protagonist came into the picture, and as per usual, as expected of me, I wasn't into the romance part of this book, which is ridiculous for me to say because this is kind of a romance story. But I was just kind of expecting something else, especially towards the end. I had that hope that something grand is gonna happen that's gonna surprise me towards the end, but it didn't end up happening. Whatever twist this book had, I saw it coming, or it wasn't that impressive to me. Maybe because most of the twists and turns in this book have been recycled so many times by different authors, by different writers, different TV shows and movies, and so nothing was new to me anymore. I wish I read this when it was first released. That would have been amazing, but since this has been like the blueprint for plot twists, it just wasn't as impressive to read. And so I was kind of disappointed about that. But I still respect this book for its contribution to popular culture and books and readers. And so I still give it 4 stars for what it is. Now, I did pick up another book which wasn't in the plan. It is this book right here, and it's called The Prophet by Kahlil Gibran. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's I found this like randomly. It sounded very familiar, and so I bought it. Also, it's very thin. Then I realized it's not a novel. It's actually like a self-help book, poetry book. This book is the type of book that I would love to read. I love this book. 5 stars. Everything is categorized per topic. It's just got that like classy type of poetry. I don't know how to describe it, but it's not something a lot of people would understand, or it's not something obvious when you read them, like most modern poetry these days. This is exactly the kind of poetry book that I enjoy, and it's quite accidental for me to find it because it wasn't in the plan. It wasn't even in the last video that I did, but I really love this and I do recommend it. And then I'm currently reading one of the books that I mentioned in the last video, which was A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. I'm currently on page 15. Like, I'm telling you, I'm taking this whole going back into reading very, very slow. I'm currently on page 25 rather, and I'm actually really enjoying it. I love how this is written, very easy to follow. I already have a bookmark here and I annotated it. I have a feeling that I will cry when I finish this book because it's gonna be such an investment. Yeah, it's a very iconic book, very iconic cover as well. And then I have another 3 books that I'm planning to read for the next month. I may not add any more because like I said, I'm taking everything slow. But I did pick up, okay, I'm gonna talk about this one first, which I already talked about in the last video, which is Furthermore by Tahara Mafi. This is the first book from this series, and I'm still waiting for Christmas to read this because it's perfect for Christmas. I'm sure I'm gonna love this. I already read like 2 pages, and that's when I decided to read it for Christmas because it's very Christmassy. And then I purchased these 2 books secondhand from Shopee. I've always wanted to read a book by F. Scott Fitzgerald, but I've read a lot of thick books this year and I don't really want to pressure myself into adding another thick book on my list before the year ends. I found this. This is called The Diamond as Big as the Ritz and Other Stories. This is a compilation of short stories. So I don't really have a lot to say about F. Scott Fitzgerald, except he's a legend. And then the last book that I have for you is The Godfather by Mario Puzo. I don't know. But this is there's a movie out which is very popular. It stars Al Pacino, which I've seen. Honestly, because of the graphics and the quality of it, because it was like made from a long time ago, it prevented me from enjoying the movie as much as I know I would if it's made recently. So I decided to just read the book, so that way the quality wouldn't matter because it's up to my imagination. So those are the books. So those are the books that I have. I just really wanted to update you guys to what I'm currently reading and my plan towards the end of the year. Also explain why I haven't uploaded anything like book related in this channel. I just really was in a reading slump, a really bad reading slump for a while. But I'm not even surprised anymore. Like I said, it's pretty normal for me for that to happen. I have a tall stack. Let me get a thumbnail. Also, by the way, my book is finally listed on Goodreads. So if you read my book somehow, which you haven't, but if you have, you can leave a review on Goodreads. Just search up Lila Gran or Dreams and you'll find it there. Dreams. That's my book right there. How amazing is that?